From Reg, who says, Father Simon and the holy, hopefully forgiving collective. My confession goes like this. I've been holding on to the guilt pretty much for 30 years. I was a young whippersnapper. I was just 20, working in a garage, and I had newly qualified as an MOT tester, the first rung up the mechanic's ladder. Now, I was finally getting better pay, so I binned the bus pass for my first car, which was a Mark II Ford Escort. A little, shall we say, rough around the edges, but I loved it very much. One day I took my mates to the football. This was a Saturday afternoon, and it was great. Our team won, and all was good. We were on a high, and we all clambered back into my car, and we waited to exit the car park. And then we waited a little bit longer, and then we waited a little bit longer, waited a little bit longer. The cause of the delay, we discovered, was a traffic officer directing out all the visiting teams' cars and coaches before us. So, this is definitely not a good thing to do, by the way. I wound down the window and I shouted, "Come on, plod!"
Okay.
Oops.
Yeah.
Let us out. The officer in question, hearing my grumbles, approached the car. You surprised me, not at all, and said, "Is there a problem, sunshine?" Really realizing that I might have been a little excessive and overly loud, I said, "No, officer, I just wanted to get out and visit my granny, and we weren't moving." And let me stop you right there, sunshine. I'm just doing my job, and I'm in charge. All right? Yes, officer. And then he said that terrible sentence, "Would you just pull into that gap over there?"
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
So we did, and he then went round my car with a fine tooth comb and promptly gave me a long list of faults to correct and to provide proof of correction, all the repairs within 7 days. I was well annoyed. I think you're supposed to go up.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, working in a garage, I could get it done and at trade rate, but it did leave me skint for the rest of the month, and I was rather irate, even though I realise now that being rude to a police officer is a very bad thing. 2 weeks passed, and lo and behold, would you believe it, Father Simon and the Holy Collective, the very same officer pulled up outside my garage. I stayed out of sight. After he left, I zipped into the office and I said, "Oi, Trev," because Trev worked in the office. So I said, "Oi, Trev."
Trev, yeah.
"What's the Astra in for?" "MOT, says Trev. "Aha," I say, "give that one to me." And I had an evil glint of revenge in my eye. Well, to say I was rather strict was an understatement. There were no advisories, only failures. I gave the Nova a damning report, a long list of problems with a big refusal to pass an MOT sheet. A phone call was made and the go-ahead given with a rather large bill on the way. The next day, the Nova was parked outside waiting for collection. I waited excitedly to hand over the keys with a big smile. But then a large Audi turns up. My police officer friend doesn't get out, but he is behind the wheel. Instead, an old lady gets out and walks slowly into the garage. And here I have to do an old lady voice.
Here we go. Yeah.
"I'm here to pick up the..." I was thinking... it's a princess or queen or something.
Yeah.
"I'm here to pick up the Nova. I'm here to pick up the Nova." "Oh," I say, "is it yours? I thought it belonged to a gentleman." "Oh, no, that's my son. He dropped it off for me. I'm here to collect and pay the bill. I can't believe it needed so much work this time. I don't really use it that much, and I don't have a lot of money."
Oh, dear.
To say I felt awful was an understatement. Anyway, the old lady paid, and she went on her way. What can only be described as probably the best conditioned Vauxhall Nova now on the road. In my defence, it passed all the following MOTs for the next 7 years with no advisories.
Yeah.
And was then sold on after she gave up driving. A surprising detail that we get at the end. I beg forgiveness from you all. This was 30 years ago and I still work in the trade, but have moved garages a few times. But the guilt still stays with me on every MOT. But most humbly and apologetically, I'm still in the same line of work. But I'm always now respectful to all authority figures, and that is what I would advise for all your listeners.
Yes.
Very neat fade.
I thought so.
Very good crossover. Yes.
Yes.
Sister Jackie, what do you say to Reg?
Well, I'm afraid, surprisingly, I am not going to forgive Reg, but really more because for being so terribly, terribly un-British and trying to be a queue jumper at the very start of the story. Wait your turn to get out of the car park and then going and exacting your revenge in a very unprofessional manner is a bunch of nonsense.
Okay, so a lack of forgiveness once again from Jackie Bramble's brother from
I'm
another
sorry.
gutter.
So this is where myself and Sister Jackie will differ, because wasn't it a case of just both of them being a little bit petty? So Mr., let's call him Plod, who was clearly taking it out because he didn't like him calling him Plod, and so he took it out on him by saying he had to get all these things changed on his car, and so he just did a little bit of revenge from him. I think what was most interesting was the car changed from a Vauxhall Astra to a Vauxhall Nova midway through the confession.
That's the genius of...
was it the GHR lawyers stepping in to change the brand? Is that what we're doing now? Brilliant. So for that reason, I'm going to forgive.